I have such a love-hate relationship with social media. Like, social media is a good place for you to follow some of your friends and talk to them and send messages to them. And it's also a great place for you to follow content creators that you like and get the heads up in regards to what they're doing, as well as artists that you're into. But there is just so much discourse that goes on social media because it's a public platform that it becomes very exhausting to use. Like, there is so much discourse in regards to video games or news headlines or anything in that nature that it makes going onto these platforms so physically demanding, but we are attached to it anyway. And a part of me feels like that was intentional. And not for the reasons that you may think, as in like, oh, it was intentionally designed that way so that way these businesses would get millions of dollars. No. What I mean by intentional was from a recent event that everybody's been talking about. A conspiracy theory that has actually been around for quite a while now, but has only recently started to blow up thanks to Twitter Blue verification people. And that, of course, is dead internet theory. If you don't know what dead internet theory is a growingly popular conspiracy theory in which most modern interactions we are seeing on the internet is not organic or done by humans, but rather artificial and done by robots. This conspiracy had recently become more apparent with the rise of artificial intelligence for creating text, artwork, audio, and recently even videos. And also a certain recent buyout, but we'll talk about that later. What you need to know is that the world is starting to become more apparent about the idea of dead internet theory. And this theory goes so much deeper than what most people are making it out to be, including finances, corporations, mind control, and even the government. Folks, this is going to be one of the deepest subjects I had ever touched on this channel, ever. And trust me, I think it's important that the world knows. So let's begin. So, where the hell did the idea of dead internet theory come from in the first place, and why is everyone talking about it now? Well, dead internet theory is actually a fairly recent idea, dating back to the 2010s. As AI began to evolve online with things like machine learning for games like Super Mario World, and even early AI chatting websites like Cleverbot, a cortege of internet users had gathered online to speak about their worries of AI taking over the internet, and how much content we view online is being done by AI. And already by this time, even before the creation of DALL-E and ChatGPT, AI consumption online was already immensely high. By 2013 alone, YouTube had to worry about half of all YouTube comments being done by AI, and they were worried about whenever a real human was interacting that it would be labeled as fake. And studies behind the matter are also, freakishly enough, uncertain, with calculations ranging that AI on the internet makes up about 10% to up to 90% of all internet traffic. And while I highly doubt that is true, especially given how recent the AI takeover of the internet is, but the fact that studies done on computers, studies done on software, done on hardware, done digitally, done on a screen, are not telling us the truth about internet consumption. I'm not saying that these computers are being sentient and hiding info and shit. I'm saying that both computers and the human brain are now starting to have a hard time indicating whether or not something was done by humans or AI. Because you have to remember, the reason ChatGPT and even AI art was done in the first place was because they were trained using material already taken by humans. Humans have given these robots information in order to make this software come to life. It's literally the real world Terminator. I'm genuinely f***ing shocked with how accurate this is being. A good portion of AI online media can be news articles, taking reports done by other people, and putting it on their websites, or even artificially making new ones based on whatever's going on, like status reports, game pages, etc. It actually puts me a lot in mind of how a lot of local news reporters had gotten exposed for basically reading off of the same script as one another.
Use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
But anyway, point is that the internet is now finding clever ways to camouflage AI into our online interactions. And this has led to a floodgate of bad omens. And these bad omens, their main target is to take over us. Let's start off with the first example of what this AI is supposed to do: scamming people. While not exactly a major part of the dead internet theory, it does play along with the subject of how much of the internet is made up of AI and robots. Financially controlling us into buying products that we do not need or have any intent for is also a major part of the dead internet theory, so it does play into that. With the rise of AI in the mid-2010s, and also within the past 2 years, there have been a cavalcade of scams and fraudulent attacks on people to scam them out of their money. Some of you might be familiar with the recent YouTuber attacks and how there have been a slew of bots that are designed to mimic the YouTuber in order to scam people, mostly their young impressionable audience, into clicking the link they provided in order to hijack their bank accounts and steal their money. It's happened to gaming YouTubers, tech YouTubers, and recently, even Mr. Beast. This doesn't really have any relation to the infamous Nigerian prince email scam, as that's been going on for decades, but even more recently, there has been a lot of push on the internet of advertisements that are done by AI in order to pull off the exact same tactic as the comments bots. If you've been on YouTube with ads, you would know this happened also with Mr. Beast, where the ads claimed that he was giving away $1,000 to anyone who was willing to go to his website. Obviously, that never happened. And more recently on TikTok, there would be advertisements claiming Elon Musk and also Mr. Beast. God, he's really made himself a target at this point, giving away cryptocurrency to those who, once again, click on a link. It's become a very common practice for AI that it makes going onto these websites unbearable.
It's time to become a real man. We are looking for 7 men who need to disappear for a month. No matter what, we will transform you into a strong-minded, energized, masculine man who doesn't struggle with good guy syndrome. Just install this app and use it for 15 minutes a day to become the most attractive man in the room.
Speaking of TikTok, this website, along YouTube Shorts, have been pushing a lot of these videos where it's somebody showing off things that they found on the internet that people might want to buy when it's obviously shit they don't need nor most likely want. And with TikTok's new shop feature, it's become more apparent, especially given that individuals get paid for whenever somebody buys their product on their TikTok shop page. Now, sometimes these ones are good omens, like the Sud Scrub, the Gallagher shampoo, and the blanket I got. They've all been wonderful, and they do have some good shit here. It just sucks that everything else that is on there is utter dropship garbage. And recently, on Twitter, there have been advertisements for unnecessary products with the URLs leading to an AI scam website. Thankfully, with community notes, they pointed out, and thank for that, because honestly, that was also very painful to deal with. But it also seems like fake advertisements might be the least of our worries. With the recent surge of AI imagery, thanks to DALL-E, Midjourney, and Stable Diffusion, everybody online has been given the ability to create photos for the intent of fooling people and making them think that it's real. It's also given people the ability to make AI schematics designed to base themselves off of an influencer or even have it be the influencer. Some of you might remember the virtual vlogger craze from back in the day, like Amy Yamato and Lil Miquela, although those are separate because while Amy was an actual person who just hides behind a 3D model, Lil Miquela was created by 2 people, with it not actually being based on a human. This idea was also recently surged into AI music artists too, like Anna Indiana and FN Meka.
Somebody please help me.
How does the AI suck at singing?
This isn't to be confused with virtual artists like Hatsune Miku or Gorillaz, as their music and their illustrated depictions are done by real people, but the idea of these people being created to artificially push out a hit song is actually not anything new, as it does relate a lot to the subject of industry plants from back in the day. Much like how Dead Internet Theory states that AI is algorithmically designed to garner attention and even fuel hate, that's exactly what industry plants do: garner attention to make something popular, specifically a song, and even fuel hatred from it. Some of you might also be familiar with the song Heart on My Sleeve, which was done by Ghostwriter, which was a song done with AI voices of Drake and The Weeknd that shook the entire internet over it. That's an example example of how AI is being used to shake discourse out of people. But on a similar note, AI voices as a whole has also led to a floodgate of videos and content that's used them, and it really does make exploring the internet a little harder, not to be compared to like
text-to-speech Daniel
or
Microsoft Sim.
It's similar, but they should never be compared. I sadly can't find this, but I remember when I was watching YouTube and I found this video that was just titled something like Gaming Icons, exposing the top 10 greatest games of all time, and the thumbnail is literally just a fucking wedding Mario amiibo from Mario Odyssey. I sadly can't find it, but I remember this video actually do existing. I saw it a few times. Some of you might also remember Kwebbelkop's AI ventures lately, where last year he created an AI version of himself and also an AI system to make videos for him that in the end turned out.
Today in Minecraft, we are stuck on one lava block. Breaking this block will give us overpowered loot, but we can also craft lava items that we can then use to defeat the lava dragon. And also, what are these two islands? What you tell the end to find out? Oh my god, we start taking damage straight away, so let's break this block. And oh my god, we got a totem already, but we need to expand. Oh.
Unbearable. He then made an apology video for it, which also turned out to be AI, and now he's actually showing his real face, and then the AI version of himself is a side character. Yeah, I remember when this dude made an AI of his friend because they got into a fight. Yeah, that happened. Speaking of which, some of you might also be familiar with Corridor Digital's use of AI art and how their animations fueled such a heated reaction from YouTube and Twitter for not only how awful it is, but also how much it could negatively affect artists' jobs and businesses. However, I think that was the intended reaction they were getting. I'll explain later. Sometimes AI might not relate to creating a fake influencer. It could be to artificially boost an influencer. Subbots, like bots, follow bots, they've all been used by people to artificially boost interactions. You might be familiar when Shane Dawson showed off celebrities' fake following in one of his conspiracy theory videos, showing off that a large majority of celebrities' followers are fake accounts.
Also, there's literally like factories where there's like thousands of phones hung up on a wall.
Yeah.
And it's somebody's job to go through and like click and follow and leave comments and do, it's like, it's crazy.
Oh.
Whoa. What?
So Kim has 32 million real but 25 million fake and a 55% score. Let's look up Selena Gomez.
Selena's doing
81%. Try like Demi Lovato. It's DD Lovato.
Demi Lovato has
53.
Whoa.
This ultimately ties in with the idea of dead internet theory and how everything is algorithmic and corporations like controlling these artists to artificially give them popularity and releases. Almost exactly like Gail's ABCDEFU for the ones that remember that situation when that happened. But unfortunately, this AI user concept goes even deeper from here. Alright, so this is actually going to be the first ever intermission for this channel, but I actually had a really good idea on what to add into this video. So I actually have ChatGPT available with me, and I thought about asking it some questions to see how it's going to respond in regards to artificial intelligence taking over the internet. Now, I understand this is not like a whole scientific thing, and it's not going to give me like true, honest answers, and that could mean one of two things for many different people, depending on how they see it. Either one, it's hiding things from us and it's not telling us the truth, or two, it's just a piece of shit and that is just robot brain. So I'm going to ask it some questions in regards to dead internet theory and in regards to AI takeover and see how it responds. Do you believe in dead internet theory? Dead internet theory is not a widely recognized or established concept. However, if you're referring to the idea that the internet as we know it could decline or face significant changes over time, that's a possibility that many people discuss. The internet has evolved considerably since its inception, and various factors such as government regulations, technological advancements, and societal changes would or could potentially shape its future in unpredictable ways. While it's challenging to predict the internet's trajectory and with certainty, discussions about the potential for a dead or significantly transformed internet are not uncommon. Okay, so it doesn't actually know much about dead internet theory, despite the theory going around for quite a while before this. Because I know ChatGPT's like history goes back to like a certain amount of time, like before 3 years ago, but it's been around for a while now, so I really don't know why it doesn't know that. Do you believe AI will be taking over the internet? No. Artificial intelligence itself is not capable of taking over the internet in the sense of gaining control over it. Okay, probably. I mean, yeah, it can't exactly do that yet. It's not like Skynet, but it certainly is making up a large portion of people's like Twitter feeds and TikTok feeds. So that's kind of bullshit. AI is a tool created and controlled by humans. While AI technologies may play increasingly prominent roles in various aspects of the internet, such as content recommendations, search algorithms, and automated systems, they are ultimately governed and directed by human programmers and operators. And that mostly is true. A lot of AI-related stuff does have a controlled setup by humans, and a lot of the AI creations you're seeing are done by humans, like the Corridor Digital Rock Paper Scissors, as well as a lot of the AI videos that you see. They do have some form of human control, even with Kwebbelkops, but still, I think it's still too much AI, obviously. And AI still plays a role in algorithms and stuff, like the For You page on TikTok. All right, let's ask it a stupid question. Are you sentient? No, I am not sentient. I am a machine learning model created by OpenAI called GPT 3.5. I didn't process consciousness, self-awareness, or subjective experiences. Do you think AI will play a major role in YouTube soon? AI is already playing a significant role in YouTube, and it is likely to continue doing so in the future. YouTube employs AI technologies for various purposes, such as content recommendations, video analysis, and content moderation. And yes, that is true. There is an algorithm using some sort of intelligence to automate recommended YouTube videos and ad targeting. And if any of you remember, YouTube did try to push AI creation features, like those dream tools or whatever they're called, sometime not too long ago. So this lines up with it. Will the internet still be human-made in the next few years? Yes, the internet will continue to be human-made in the next few years. While the technologies and infrastructures of the internet may evolve and artificial intelligence may play an increasingly significant role, the fundamental framework, design, and development will remain within human control. All right, let's respond to all this. I still have a hard time believing you. After all, you are artificial intelligence. So how will I not know you are lying to me? I don't have the capacity to lie or deceive intentionally. Bro, I read that shit like the Terminator. I do not have the capacity to lie or deceive intentionally. Although, to be fair, the Terminator has lied before. I know in Terminator 3 he did.
You said that you'd let me go.
I lied.
My responses are generated based on patterns and information present in the data on which I was trained. I do not have personal opinions, feelings, or intentions. If there's ever a misunderstanding or if you're uncertain about a response, it's likely due to the limitations or ambiguities in the training data or the input provided. I think that's enough of that. That's enough of this information. I just wanted to add this in here because I thought it'd be fun to have it here. Anyways, let's continue with the video. I'm putting these in the same chapter because they do connect with each other in similar ways. A lot of you might remember when Mark Zuckerberg was involved in a lawsuit regarding Facebook and how they invaded people's privacy in order to gain advertisement sales. Basically, how they were snooping on us by our internet searches and even our microphones in order to put advertisements on Facebook. Well, around this time, Web3 was in discussion and how people can decentralize themselves using it, as well as things like the blockchain for cryptocurrency and most importantly, NFTs. For those that don't remember, I feel so lucky for you. I wish I was you so bad. but if you don't remember what I'm talking about, NFTs, otherwise known as non-fungible tokens, were images that users could buy using an insane amount of cryptocurrency in order to own a picture, basically. This picture would then be used on Web3 in order to gain access to other features on other websites or get into certain events or something like that. In the end, they turn out completely worthless, but when the NFT takeover happened back in 2022, pretty much everybody was trying to hop on board in order to get a quick buck out of it. Some of these included NFTs based on copyrighted characters, some based on stolen material, based on viral material, based on explicit material.
A group of women walked by me, saw my badge, asked what I do, and when I told them, they promoted their NFT website to me. Yep, that's right, NFT.
But for pretty much all of them unanimously, each of them looked like complete, total dog shit. Some people were even profiting off of tragic events and turning them into NFTs, which I do not want to show or talk about here because that was the point. It was for them to get attention. But what about the metaverse? What did it do? Well, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really know. And neither did a lot of people. Nobody really knows what the metaverse was supposed to do, but from the looks of it, it was supposed to be like an alternate universe that people can live on digitally, as a lot of stores were trying to get themselves into the universe where you could buy your groceries. And let us not forget what happened with Walmart when they tried to get involved in the metaverse. That was just cringe.
Great. Looks like you need a good wine pairing. Take a look to your right. Your age has already been pre-verified through your profile, so no need to wait for an ID check. Just place the item in your cart whenever you're ready.
Honestly, I'm so glad that most of these died off, because if they were to actually happen, it would have been a total disaster. But a part of me wonders if they were supposed to even happen at all. What if they were just created in order to spark hatred and fear from individuals like you and me? What if they were only supposed to fuel nothing but income from Meta and Facebook in order to get them as big as they are now? Kind of like what they've been doing on their Facebook platform in the first place. Maybe it's why they changed their name from Facebook to Meta in the first place, and why they changed the name from Oculus to Meta as well. I should probably stop talking right now if I want to stay alive. And now, here we are with the most recent example of dead internet theory. On April 14th, 2022, Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX, Tesla, as well as OpenAI, the founders of DALL-E and ChatGPT, started an acquisition to buy the social media platform Twitter. With the acquisition, a lot of terrible changes were made, including features that involved NFTs, the ability to buy the verification tag, and even rebranding it from Twitter to X. When this acquisition happened, it filled the floodgates to a lot of hatred and bigotry on the platform, basically turning it into Facebook 2.0. I don't want to get into all of it here because it's very grim and I want to stay as apolitical as possible, but all you need to know is that Elon was basically involved in the platform having as much hatred to the users on there as it is now, always making headlines because he was going to remove important features from the platform, including making bookmarks public, wanting to make Twitter pay only, and even threatening that he was going to remove the block feature, which he wasn't even able to do as the App Store and Google Play stores require the ability to block users for social media pages. Speaking of which, whenever he added the ability to buy a verification tag, he also added the ability to make income from Twitter by just constantly posting. Twitter Blue, or I should call it by its new name, X Premium Plus, yeah, that's literally what it's called, was not only the way to get the verification tag, but was also to make income. This feature has basically led to a bunch of bots commenting on random tweets with either things that barely relate to the tweet or things that relate to nothing from the tweet they were replying to whatsoever in order to make income from the platform. And with the new For You page that's also on Twitter that a lot of people are forced to use nowadays, they are recommended random Twitter accounts with verification tags that either have posted something that every other Twitter account has already posted beforehand, or posts that are designed to intentionally spark hatred and riots and attention on the platform, basically milking the hate and depression that we get on the platform in order to get a following and even income. This recent surge in random tweets has actually sparked a lot of talk about dead internet theory, Theory, and there's actually a really good Twitter account that's called Dead Internet at its Finest, in which there's nothing but tweets that are done by these accounts that are part of the Dead Internet Theory. It's a really good Twitter account, and I actually do recommend that you follow them. They were kind of the main basis for this video. If you ever want to use Twitter again in the first place, now that you have all this information in mind, I do recommend you follow them. This is a quote retweet from an Aqua Teen Hunger Force clip that talks about a pinball machine, where it says, "There actually was a Family Guy pinball machine in the Adult Swim offices. Spent many hours on it." The reply is, "Cool cup." Math exam. Option A, 12. Option B, 6.5. Option C, 8.9. My calculator, 3,146.4. The horse's name was Friday. First key art for Despicable Me 4, in theaters on July 3rd. I get to see Gru and his minions against yes! Donald Trump is the chosen Antichrist. They have been foreshadowing this for centuries. Here is the, as an AI language model, I am unable to access external links or content. In order to assist you better, please provide me with the specific details or information you would like me to address or discuss. Feel free to ask any question and I'll be glad to help you. Wow, this article presents such a unique perspective on climate change, very thought-provoking. It's essential for people to engage with diverse viewpoints. Games platform. Landlords be like, new paint so rent is going up an extra $500 a month. The way you tackle complex issues with a balanced and nuanced approach is truly commendable. It adds depth to your content and encourages critical thinking. Super Mario Galaxy contains an unused area called Normal Galaxy. True to its name, it is extremely normal, consisting only of a single, unremarkable gray planetoid. Mario of Super 2! Bomber Grounds, the best game of 2024. Try it out now. Ding dong game. And finally, in the most iconic example of a Dead Internet Theory tweet, unfortunately it had fallen victim of my buddy Mancolor over here, the Mario Kart legend, and he posted retweet to scare casual Mario Kart Twitter, and the reply from a cryptocurrency Twitter account was, if Mario, then only bros. Alright, that's enough reading about Dead Internet Theory tweets. Let's get back to the regular video. Sometimes things in life are just not worth fighting for. Let's be honest. It really isn't. But a lot of it still feels like it could be pointed back towards Elon, even outside of this Twitter acquisition. After all, he was the founder of OpenAI, which basically pushed further AI usage with ChatGPT and DALL-E. A big businessman with billions of dollars under his belt, basically controlling the internet to spark hatred? Now, doesn't that sound familiar? The idea of mega corporations using AI to get hatred and attention out of us is actually a very important role when it comes to Dead Internet Theory. It's kind of ironic that we as humans talk about how much we hate being on our phones all the time and how we're stuck on social media, and reasonably so to have that sadness from it, but whenever we see people try to point out about us being addicted to our phones and try to make illustrations in regards to why we are addicted to our phones, we always take the piss out of them and mock it for what it's trying to say. We are basically taking the piss out of something that is intentionally pointing out our addiction and our need of depressive social media. We always have to make quotes, retweets, and replies in regards to bigoted and hate-fueled tweets from verified people, even though they are intentionally designed to get interaction. It is interaction bait. We feel like we always have to keep our stances despite the fact that we don't really need to, and these people are getting nothing but attention from us, if these are even people to begin with. We always like to make fun of how AI is being used to make YouTube videos and scripts, and even fucking apologies, when we know damn well in the back of our minds that that is what they're trying to get out of us, but we still fuel it anyway because that is part of our natural system. That is our natural response to want to respond to it. Some of these people don't even believe in what they're trying to say, like Sneeko, for example, when he got caught out for it, but they still do it anyway because it's so attention grabbing from us. Most of them are putting on fake personas and fake accounts in order to fuel this hatred, and most likely at the end of the day, what we are talking to is a bunch of ones and zeros that were made to get these reactions in the first place. That was their mission. It's like the Terminator. It was their mission and they completed it. That's the thing. That's what these bots are wanting us to do. They want us to spread discourse. They want us to get angry. They want us to make views. It's all government controlled. They are spewing nonsense at our minds in order for us to start fights and fuel hate. It's all part of the fucking plan. They want us to fight. They want us to be miserable. They want us to leave so that they can rule over the internet. We are letting them win. So shut the fuck about everything that's going on right now, because we are literally ruining our own human faith for speaking hatefully about our subjects. And the ruler, the leader, the man that is doing this, take a break. You really deserve it. This website is not worth fighting on. Take that time away. Let your mind rest. And walk out of the bunker when the war is over.
Tech experts are sounding alarm bells over the rapid spread of AI-generated explicit images of women online. Concerns grew this week after sexual deepfake photos of Taylor Swift went viral on social media.
The man widely seen as the godfather of artificial intelligence has quit his job at Google, warning of the dangers of AI. Geoffrey Hinton's pioneering research on deep learning and neural networks has paved the way for current AI.
The future of AI has burst into our imagination, culture, and our daily lives. Because after decades of trying, companies have learned to train very quickly on huge amounts of biology. Now, we can battle with customer services. We bounded out with a $20 coming assistance.
Ecosystem creator, and sometimes I'm surprised.
Digital assistants with useful godlike powers.
Wow, so as long as I have seen it.
Hello everybody, thank you all so much for watching this essay video about dead internet theory. This was a topic I was very passionate about, and it's something I was super invested in, and I wanted to make an essay video talking about it. And as you could tell by the length of this video, it was something I wanted to dive deep into. Once again, I want to give a big thank you to the Dead Internet at its Finest Twitter account for allowing me to use some of their tweets and being basically what inspired this entire video. If it wasn't for them, legit this video might not would have existed, because it was thanks to this account that made me want to start diving deep into the dead internet theory subject. Also, massive shout out to the YouTube channels Alltime and Sudium for their videos about dead internet theory. If you want to read more into the subject, I would highly recommend watching their videos as well. So, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts about dead internet theory? Tell me in the comments. And if you have any other suggestions for what you want me to talk about next, then you could submit them all via all these social media links, which will be in the description below. I know, a little ironic given the subject of this video, but what I mean by taking a break, I mean I don't want to constantly reply to drama and discourse and all that other stuff that goes on Twitter. I just want to use the platform to speak with my mutuals and my YouTuber following, and just basically treat it as if it's kind of like YouTube in a way where I don't have to constantly reply to things. And if some of you don't use Twitter, I also use Tumblr and Blue Sky, and if there's any other social media links that I do have that I'm not sharing on screen right now, I also have a link tree as well. And if you guys did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button, and if you're new, the subscribe button and the notification bell so that way you'll be notified whenever I upload a video. And if you want to support me even further, then you could go check out the merch store, which will be in the description below via the website danieltg.store. We're currently doing a big overhaul on it right now. It's been a big project. I'm wanting to try to find a really good blend between just a standard independent clothing brand and YouTuber merch, kind of like alien clothing in a way. I want something that people can wear that doesn't exactly relate to the channel, but those that do know the channel know exactly what they're on about. But yeah, with all of that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.